Lawmakers in Washington approved a bill giving families upwards of $300 a month in child tax credits, dramatically reducing the number of children living in poverty. That tax credit pulled more than 3 million children out of poverty since July. That's according to a study by Columbia University. But lawmakers couldn't agree on how to renew the program, and that aid expired at the end of the year. But a new state bill now aims to do the same. Joining us now is Assemblymember Miguel Santiago. Thank you so much for joining us. He represents the 53rd District, which includes the areas of Los Angeles, Huntington Park, and Vernon, and he introduced the state measure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Assemblymember, can you talk a little bit about some of the aspects of the plan that you introduced? Would this replace that federal aid? Who would be included and who would be excluded?
Well, we've now seen that the federal government failed to act on its commitment to child tax credit, and so we've got a surplus in the state of California upwards of $40 billion. We make the argument that we should extend the child tax credit here in the state of California by $2,000 for those living in poverty per child. So we're looking at making sure that those who are beginning to be lifted out of poverty don't fall back into poverty, while making sure that kids are fed, the rent is paid for those who are most desperate in need.
Now, we saw that a lot of parents got really excited about this, and then so quickly thereafter it was taken away. Does your bill say anything specific about how long it would be in effect for, or does it need to be voted on every single year? Or are there any assurances for parents?
Well, we're looking at for establishing over the long term, but in the debate in the legislature, we have a one-time shot to at least getting it done this year, which would help about 5 million Californians, included about 2 million children who are on the verge of falling desperately into poverty, those who are making $30,000 or less per household. So we want to make it permanent, but we're debating that we should do it this year with the surpluses that we have.
All right, shifting focus now, you introduced another measure you helped write this month, the Community College for All bill. Can you talk about what that legislation would do if it passed and what inspired you to write it?
Well, we've now seen a decrease of community college enrollment across the state of California. About 15% of the students not coming back. We want to make sure that we make community college free for everyone who's going full-time to excite people to come back to get an education, sharpen their tools. Now, currently, and we did a couple of years ago, make community college free for all first-time, full-time students. What we're saying now is we want to make community college free for all full-time students. So whether you've got a degree, whether you were going part-time before, or whether this is your second chance at an education, we want you to come back to community college, go full-time, and make it free. And what inspired me is I got on my second chance at a community college, and this is what helped me to get to UCLA and ultimately to the state capitol. But what's important about a full-time student is their success rate is exponentially much higher when they are full-time. So in the state legislature, we're talking about making community college free for all full-time students, while at the same time pushing for Cal Grant reform to meet all the non-tuition costs for a student. That means textbooks, that means housing, that means technology, and other things that are needed to be successful at a community college.
Assemblymember Miguel Santiago from the 53rd District, thank you so much for joining us, and please keep us posted on your bills.
Sure. You have a wonderful day, and happy weekend, everybody.